And we're going live in 2, 3.
Hey, Daily Huddle people, super excited for you. Today we're going to talk about the real reason fat people stay fat for a long time and the simple switch, the simple one that your doctor won't tell you about. And here's the deal, it's not going to be like anything else we talked about before. And it's all about genetics. So let's roll that intro. Oh, we're not doing it yet, huh?
I wasn't ready. I wasn't. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, Vince.
I can't perform without my drums, man. Look, you got me thrown off without the drums. How am I gonna do my intro without the drums? But you put the pressure on me, so I just got good morning, everybody. Good morning, Daily Huddle. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning to each and every one of you that has made the decision and the commitment to join us here on the Daily Huddle. And it is a happy occasion. Good morning, CC. It's a happy occasion. It's a sad occasion. It's a happy occasion because we're here. It's a sad occasion because it is the last show that my partner, Rawlin, Vanatta, and myself are doing on the Daily Huddle. And for that reason, we can feel heavy hearts. Oh! Yeah, even if I can't see it. I can't see it, but I feel it. All right, thank you for that, Gio. I was like starting to feel like, listen, man, something is wrong. I have failed you for the last 2 years. 2 years that Gio has had me on the Daily Huddle starting January of 2021. And here we are on our, I won't say last because we're going to come back, maybe do some guest appearances, from time to time, but won't be a part of the regular show, just maybe as a guest every now and then when Gio and Cyril say, hey, man, hey, we need to lose some weight. Hey, we got some stuff going on. And then we'll come back and say, hey, y'all. So we're not gone for forever, just on a regular basis. And so in that regard, I am going to throw this to my partner, to a man that I actually call friend, a man I got deep respect for. Rawlin, Vanatta, won't you get us started, my friend?
All right. Thank you, Vince. It's been a pleasure working with you and the Daily Huddle. And I apologize. I've been a little under the weather, so my voice is a little scratchy today. So bear with me there. But I started thinking, like, what in the world does people need to know going into the new year? What is it they need to know that they've never heard from us before? And the answer occurred to me when I was looking at our new ad for the Red Line Challenge. So we just launched a new ad for the Red Line Challenge. And I got to tell you, it's one of the most popular ads of all time. It's Vince in a Santa Claus hat, and he's in the grocery store, and he's holding a bag of chips and a 4-pound bag of potatoes. And he's saying that there's the same calories in both. He does the Red Line talks. So that if you haven't never heard that, you can go back into the Daily Huddle archives and learn what's below the red line, or you can join our 5-day challenge coming up on the 2nd. But the interesting thing is the headline on the video is carbs are not the problem. And here's the crazy thing is the comments are on fire. People are at war inside our comments of our ads. The shares are insanity. The comments are even more insane. And the likes are going up like fireworks. Okay. Now, why is that? Because I started looking, but most of it is people saying, that's not true. That's baloney. This is ridiculous. People just talking all kinds of stuff. And I was kind of interested about this. Like, what is it that makes people so resistant to this idea? Because all we're trying to do is show them a way that they can simply lose weight really fast without avoiding their carbs, the thing they don't want to do in the first place, without cutting their calories, which is the thing that, counting their calories, which is the thing they get frustrated doing, and it's not sustainable, right? Carrying around charts and graphs and calculators all the time, trying to memorize how much a hamburger is. And they don't have to control their portion, and they just don't believe it's possible. And the interesting thing about the whole thing is it comes down to genetics. And what do I mean by genetics? I mean this. We're all dependent upon our genetics. And for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, our genetics has kept us alive. It keeps your heart alive. It keeps your heart, like everything works, right? It gives you eye color. And one of the other things it does is it warns you of danger. And what is danger? New things. Raise your hand if anybody's ever went into a new area, a new room, maybe a new city, that you've never been in. There's a whole bunch of new people that you've never met before. You walk in and you feel just a little bit of anxiety before you walk in. Wave at me if you've ever felt a little bit of anxiety with a bunch of brand new people, a place you've never been before, right? That's genetic. That's not random. That's genetic. What do you mean? What I mean it's genetic. Because guess what? If you were alive, 7,000 years ago or 5,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago, you walk into an area with that many new people, there's a good chance that there's going to be people that's going to be fighting and killing each other over the food that they got in their pockets. You know what I mean? Because things were so scarce. New people was new tribes, new villages, and new villages is always potential for war. I was just reading in in 1 Kings in the Bible the other day, and one of the things when Solomon first came to power, one of the neighboring kings came over to him and he was the son of David, and he come to him and he said, Solomon, we're gonna be good, and Solomon's like, no, we want you to help cut lumber for us. And he's like, oh, good. Woo. The Lord gave David a wise king to sit on his throne. Why? Because every time a new leader comes into power, it's like, does that mean we're all going to go to war? Right? And even today, people feel that, right? When there's a brand new president, everybody's a little bit anxious. Why? Because it's a new information, it's a new thing. And guess what? Even if you're not happy with the current thing that you've been dealing with, at least you're still here and your genetics detect that. So it's safer than what's new. Okay. And so I started thinking about this because I started looking at some profile pictures of these people that knew so much about how carbs was the problem. And so many of them were terribly overweight, but they knew that carbs were their problem. And so what gets most people in trouble when it comes to health and weight loss is all the things they already know. You get what I'm saying? All the things they already know. I had a mentor one time that said this: results tell the truth. That's it. Results tell the truth. So if you're the weight you want to be at, go for it. Keep doing what you're doing. If you're not, it's time to look for a new path. And guess what? That new path can feel a little bit scary, a little bit different. And in fact, if you're going the right direction, when you first hear it, you'll reject it because it's that genetic safety feature locked in, keeping you exactly where you are. Why does it want to keep you exactly where you are? Because it's safe. And its job is to keep you alive to procreate, right? And its job is not to keep you alive for 80, 90, 100 years. It's to keep you alive to procreate. Okay? Vince, you got anything for us? Or you want me to keep going?
Man, look, you are on fire. The genetics thing, I got to admit, when you put it in the question, so I'm not sure if you guys read the question that we post every day, but you may want to know that Rawlin comes up with them, and when he asks the questions, I don't always know where he's going. So we're partners, and once he starts talking, then I get. But the genetics thing, it's a really interesting fact that we see so many people that are ardent believers that carbs are their problem. And I mean to the core. And I mean, and it's not like, well, maybe you can talk me into something else. No, just like gravity is a force that pulls you down, carbs is what makes you fat. They believe it with the same level of veracity.
Religious zeal.
It's religion. They believe it with such veracity that if you try to go in the other direction, no. And what's so interesting is this is not debatable. It is science and mathematics, because carbs have 4 calories in every gram. Protein has 4 calories in every gram. Fat has 9. That's just the math, the science behind it. So if you're trying to lose weight, what should you avoid? The 9 calories per gram or the 4? It's the 9 that's the problem. However, they don't realize, when people say carbs are the problem, what they don't realize is every food. Now listen, I want you to write in the chat or come off of mute, and I want you to list what food that you think, what's the number one food in your mind that you can eat that makes you fat? Tell me. This is going to be an interactive. Tell me. You can write it in the chat. You can come off mute and tell me. Sugar. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one, Stan. Somebody give me another one. Give me another food that you believe makes you fat. And I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Rashida, Stan, I know you got Stacey, I know you got some comments in mind. What are the foods that make you fat? Gio says, what was that, Sorrel?
Bread, man.
Bread. Excellent. That's a good one. Bread. Chase says fried foods. And let me get one more. Food with fat. Okay. So foods like donuts. Everybody agree that donuts will make you fat? That's okay. What about breads? Okay, so breads, everybody, breads make you fat. Breads are fattening. Okay, right. What about bagels with cream cheese? Is that fattening food? French fries, fattening foods.
Dairy.
What was that, Stacey?
I said dairy and cheese and milk and
dairy and cheese and milk. Absolutely. And those are actually very low.
Fat. That's all fat.
Those are all fat. So Gio is right, and Chase is dead on in the fat.
These people have been around us too long, Vance.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Potatoes. How many people think?
You should have asked them you should have asked them a year ago. If I'd have asked you this question, what would you have said?
Potatoes. Raise your hand if you think potatoes make you fat. Raise your hand if you think potatoes make you fat.
Everybody thinks it does, right? Everyone does.
And the thing is, processed foods. Exactly. So the thing is that French fries will absolutely make you fat. Potato chips will absolutely make you fat. Baked potato loaded with the butter and the sour cream and the bacon bits will absolutely make you fat. The point that I'm trying to make is those foods that most people believe are the foods with the carbs that make you fat, every one of them has hidden fat in it without realizing it. You think that the donuts are high in carbs, they're deep fried in grease and oil. The French fries, deep fried in oil. Potato chips, deep fried in oil. Again, the baked potato, you got the butter and the sour cream. So the carbs is what is in your mind. But remember, carbs only 4 calories per gram, fat is 9. But those 4 calories are always with something that has the 9. You see? So you're not far off, but because they come as a partner, it's guilt by association.
Well, and also, like, if anyone's ever baked a cake, look and see if one of the ingredients is not oil and butter.
And
right?
butter.
Right? Oil and butter. Like when you bake a cake, you have to put oil in it and mix it up.
And don't forget the egg.
And don't forget the egg, and don't forget the butter. It's crazy. It's insanity. It's insanity. But everybody sees it as a potato because the fat disappears. You see it as a potato. You see it as the starch. So people say, "Oh, don't eat the starches," right? Dr. McDougall, John McDougall, been doing this for years. Got a great book called The Starch Solution, and he's good friends with Dr. Esselstyn, who is Vince's hero, and they are. I mean, it's crazy. He talks about how the longest lived populations on planet Earth survive and have survived off of carbohydrates. It's insanity. It's insanity to look at the historical patterns. And it's the moment in which countries become very wealthy, they begin to be able to afford to eat high fat all the time. I mean, high fat 3 times a year is not your trouble. High fat every day, all the time is your problem when it comes to fat. Like, nobody ate one meal and gained 10 pounds. You may have felt like you gained 10 pounds, but that next day, you probably dropped another 8 of it in the porcelain throne. You know what I'm talking about, right? So you might have hung on to 1 pound or something like that, right? But it takes a while for fat to build up, right? But let's not get away from the idea that if you have been, like, here's the thing I don't want anybody to do. I don't want anybody to say, "I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do this New Year's resolution. I'm going to do it." And then they say, "I'm going to do it by cutting carbs because that's what worked last time." Did it? Are you still overweight? Are you sure it worked? Are you sure? I'm going to try all these old strategies I've tried in the past because they worked. Did they? Try something new. It's going to feel different. It's going to feel scary. It's going to feel wrong.
So let's do this. First of all, I see a hand raised, and I want to let's acknowledge that hand raise, and then let's just open this up for some discussion. I don't know who the hand raise is. It's a Daily Huddle host, and the only name is Daily Huddle host. Maybe it's Sorrel. I don't know.
So it's Manisha.
Okay. Great. The floor is yours. How can we help you today?
So I've been listening to you guys for a while as well, and I have educated myself, the uneducated doctor, right, who doesn't know anything about nutrition, tried to educate myself a little bit on that, and I have read some books on the like the obesity code, talking a little bit more about the no carb diet. And so I understand the science behind that. So what I wanted to ask you specifically was, with the biochemical processes and the Krebs cycle, and how, you know, foods break down into glucose and utilized in ATP with glucogenesis and gluconeogenesis and all of that. I heard Vince talking last week about, you know, unclogging the pipe, but I want to know, because I haven't been able to reconcile, what is this actual scientific explanation for why when you eat your diet with higher carbs, I understand, you know, without fat, but with the higher carbs, how does that not result in an increase in glucose storage in your liver and ultimately in fat? Because your body still will take excess glucose and transition it to fat to store it.
So there's a couple of, okay, well, first of all, we can talk about that one for about 2 hours, and I don't know if that will be if biochemistry would be entertaining for everyone. But if so, you said a couple of things. So the first has to do with accumulation of fat and how you can. So let me make sure I'm addressing. Do you want me to address how carbohydrates can cause you to lose weight, or do you want me to address how eating carbohydrates can increase insulin sensitivity?
I mean, I guess if you're saying that carbohydrates increase insulin sensitivity, then you're pointing to the fact that it will not store more fat. I don't know. I guess what I want you to address is, how is it that in your diet, the regular mechanisms of the body, which are set to store excess glucose that is not utilized by the body as fat?
So storing excess glucose is going to happen. That still absolutely happens. And there's no, I mean, that's the way the body works, right? I mean, the muscle cells and the liver primarily will store excess carbohydrates in the form of glycogen in the cells. That still happens, okay? But what we want to get when we lose weight is the loss of fat, and the answer to that deals with calorie density. And so that the whole idea of eating foods that have a lower calorie density, you just get full before you can eat too many. And so regardless of the fact that, yes, the body is still storing, I mean, because you need to store excess glucose in the form of glycogen. The body has to have that, because as soon as you stop eating, you won't have energy. You also mentioned ATP, the Krebs cycle. That's doesn't come into play with long-term energy storage. That's one of the 3 different energy systems, right? The body can burn glucose in the form of glycogen and glycolysis. ATP is the second one, and burning fat is the third one. And so those different energy systems. But glycogen is still stored, but you still will lose weight because you just get full before you eat too many calories. You get full before you eat too many calories. Just like the big example that I give on that is a very small bag of chips, less than 3 ounces. Every one of us can eat a small bag of chips less than 3 ounces, but that's 400 calories. To get 400 calories in cantaloupe, you got to eat 2 cantaloupes. And I don't think you can eat 2 cantaloupes, but you can easily eat this bag of chips. That is a calorie density story. That's why you lose weight eating carbs, as opposed to high fat and processed foods. Processed foods are actually much worse than meat. I mean, the worst foods that you can eat are ultra processed foods, period. From a weight gain standpoint, and from a poor nutrition standpoint, and from poisoning the body with dyes and colors and preservatives and emulsifiers and all the stuff that your microbiome does not know how to process. Okay, so for weight gain and for just tons and tons of things, highly processed foods are the worst for just about everything in your body. Okay, but weight loss comes from low calorie dense foods. You just get full before you can eat too many calories.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, all right. Any other?
Hey, I would love to invite her to our Red Line Challenge because that question will be answered in a lot more depth on the first day of the challenge. And it's $7. Yeah, I'd be willing to just let you in for free. Like I don't care about that. But Vince does an entire presentation on that first day. It happens on January the 2nd. So if you are interested in learning more about exactly how that works, and then day 2, he gets into the diabetic talk and breaks down exactly how that glucose actually increases insulin sensitivity instead of decreasing it. And actually how that we have clients all the time, like not a little bit, all the time, join and, oftentimes within 5 days are already needing to call their doctor to have their insulin and their metformin and other diabetic medications lowered because of how much better. And they're doing it eating 100% carbs or, basically 100% carbs. They're eating only foods that are high in carbs and no foods that are high in fat. And so by doing that, which it seems like completely the opposite way of thinking. But once you go through the presentation, the way Vince breaks it down, it's like, holy crap. And so, you basically have an 8-lane interstate. And right now, most people are functioning with only 1 lane open at rush hour in Atlanta. And Vince shows how to open all 8 lanes simultaneously. Then it doesn't really matter how much your insulin spikes just don't go up, how many carbs go in there, or go up very little. So I'd invite you to do that. Vince, go ahead.
Yeah, and I would also say that we have had several MDs and RNs go through our program because they wanted to get that training. So I would welcome you and would love to have you. Sorrel, what's up, my friend?
Vince, we have barely 2 minutes left, and there's no way the Daily Huddle family is going to let you and Mr. Rawlin Vanatta leave this venue without being properly acknowledged for the immense contribution that you've made to the world through the Daily Huddle and the immense contribution that you've made to so many Daily Huddlers. Myself, Giovanni, and all. And I know 2 of them in particular want to say a little something to say thank you. Stan, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say, how's my sound? Am I okay? My sound profile okay?
Perfectly okay.
Beautiful. Thank you, Vince. Rawlin, man, you 2 guys, man, it's just been a pleasure to tune in. Every time that I've had an opportunity to, I've learned so much, and I am going to be still connecting with you guys. So we're looking forward to just staying in touch, man. Love you guys, man. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Stan. We love you back, man. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Stacy, you're up, my friend.
Hey, good morning. So happy to have spent these last several months with you every Tuesday. You've helped me get my life right, both of you, and I want to thank you. In so many ways, you help me understand what I need to be eating, what I need to not be eating, how to balance that with exercise and rest and all of that. And it's wonderful. I just want to thank you. And this is exactly what my wife and I need on this new journey, so that we can live long and prosper. Vince, I just want to say thank you. I will definitely be visiting you all on your new platform. Rawlin, my son calls you the vegan Joel Osteen. I hope you can never live that down because I never every single week. All right. Thank you.
That is so on point.
It really is. It really is. Oh man.
Oh my God.
that is
Oh my God.
great.
Take two more. CC and then
That's hilarious.
Thank you, gentlemen. Rawlin and I forgot your other name, but I want to say thank you from my heart because you have helped so many people. I've recommended that people join the Red Line Challenge, and the lives that you have changed to the better has actually affected many people around me. So their lives have been saved because they have turned to a better way of living, which is vegan. And Happy New Year and congratulations on your new platform. This is CC. Bye now.
Thank you, CC. That is so kind. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And Vince, and Rollin, before I pass it on to Gio, I learned the difference between being a vegan and between eating whole food plant-based. And I want you to know, this past October, I was at a table in Boston and people said, "Oh, Sorrell's a vegan now, so watch out." I said, I'm not a vegan. I eat whole food plant-based. And man, you should have heard me. I am so proud of me, and I'm proud of me only because of you, right? I was able to sit there and detail for them how saturated fat coats the cells at the mitochondrial level, and that impedes the absorption of glucose into the cells, and therefore the glucose stays in the bloodstream, and that's how type 2 diabetes develops. But you know what? I'm only eating plant-based, not because I want to lose weight, because I don't want to be a casualty. Because you know what?
Hey, do you see this?
I might say that it's genetic. I might say whatever, but you know what? Because of you, Vince and Rawlin, I now know that anyone, including me, have the opportunity to live a longer life and live a healthier life. Not to be right about it, and simply by eating below the red line. Legumes, vegetables, beans, lentils, lots of water, and every now and then a scoop of ice cream, because I can't resist it. But I want you guys to know I love you. I love your energy. I'll keep sending people to you. And my life as a human being will never be the same.
We appreciate you, Sorrell.
Will never be the same.
Thank you, man. Thank you for that.
Thank you for your immense contribution, gentlemen.
From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you.
Yeah. Gio, I could go on all day.
Yes. And really everything you are saying is what I want to say. And I feel like I have been saying goodbye for an entire month. Every time I see them, I'm saying something about don't leave, don't break up with me, give me another chance, but what I was telling Sorrell yesterday, Vince and Rawlin, we were looking at what is Tuesday's going to look like, right? And having different guests, and eventually maybe having a host itself, right? But last week, Rawlin, you said, come over to our platform. We will have guests, we will have doctors, we will have people who will give you different perspectives. And I was like, what the hell? We wanted you to do that over here. What happened, right? And then I told Sorrell, but here's the thing. I needed to hear it for 2 years so strongly. And somebody like me, in the way my survival mechanism works, if you will, at the level of the brain, couldn't really get the world of the world that you were bringing on every single Tuesday as my access to energy, as my access to the best quality of life. I needed those 2 years. So I was so blessed that that you guys were so intentional and immersed so deeply in getting people like me to truly get it. And so I you know, I am someone who takes on good ideas and spreads them around the world, and you bet I'm going to continue to spread the idea, the lifestyle of plant-based, mostly plant-based, I would say. I think life is better with ice cream anyway. So you know, I'm rambling to tell you I love you, to tell you I can't wait to be in your platform, and to tell you I can't wait to, you know, continue to work together in however many ways, because the message is more than needed in the world, and it needs friends. It needs lots of friends. And like Sorrel was saying, it needs the kind of friends that won't be right about it, that won't be righteous about it, because it will be just simply more of the same, you know. So thank you for making your life about this. Really, I love you deeply with all my heart. You're family to me, and I can't wait to start my challenge on January 2nd.
Woo!
I wanted to say, Sarah.
Wow.
Thank you, Jill. We love you too. We love you all, and look forward to keeping you updated on a new platform. And it's going to be a crazy, awesome 2023 for both I know the Daily Huddle and for us. And Vince, do you have anything to say?
Man, just thank you. Thank you for the kind words, for the love, and for giving us your platform for us to do what we do. It 2 years has gone by mighty fast.
100.
2 years has gone by mighty fast, and it's been just an experience for me that I can't just put into words. And my relationship with, you know, Gio and Sorrel over the time, from I think he's a fraud. My first time guest hosting, Gio told me later on, I thought you were a fraud. You told me, how can you lose weight by eating more food? And you let me on anyway because of Lori K, my relationship with Lori K, and you've known, and Lori K has been on the is a friend of the Daily Huddle. He said, so I let you on, but I thought you were a fraud starting. But then by the end of the 30 minutes, you were like, oh my God, but I think he's right. So to go from thinking I'm a fraud to saying, wow, that's the key to weight loss is an experience that I'll never forget.
I never thought you were a fraud. I thought the question was fraudly created.
You thought it was clickbait, huh?
Yeah. Not you. He's not.
Just the question was fraudly created. Okay, got it.
We're going to quote that. Meme it out. Giovanni's face.
that fraudly created, and the vegan Joel Osteen. Those are the two things we take away from this show.
That's hilarious.
Now today's a special day, gang. Both Vince and Rawlin are wearing glasses. I have a request.
All right, let's do it, Vince, and then let's wrap up
the show like synchronized swimming.
All right, I'm ready. Come on, let's get ready.
You've
Sorrel,
only
you're
got
the only one without glasses, by the way.
what was that?
Sorrel is the only one without glasses.
That's right. Only one on the screen. So you've only got one body in this lifetime. Just one body. in this lifetime. If you don't take care of it, where are you going to live? You've only got one body in this lifetime. So eat as though your life depends on it. Because it does. My name is Vince Rountree, Rawlin, Vanatta, and our co-host, and it has been our pleasure to spend our Tuesday mornings with you for the last couple of years. Join the Daily Huddle each and every weekday morning at 9 o'clock, and you are sure to get some information that will improve the quality of your life. Thank you for giving us this platform. Thank you for the love. Thank you for listening and being with us. This has been nothing short of an absolute pleasure. Have a fantastic day and a fantastic 2023 and a fantastic rest of the decade. So long.
Peace and blessings, Rawlin.
Thanks so much.
Thank
Guys,
you.
I gotta jet.
One love.
I got a jet. Such a pleasure. I look forward to being invited back, you guys.
Of course.
One love, guys.
Uh-huh.